Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome to episode 12 of Europa Universalis IV as France. As France? No, that's wrong, as England. Although, technically, England-France, because we've got our personal union with France, which is absolutely fantastic. The event triggered to enforce the personal union, the 100 Years' War event, and we managed to do it. So we've now got this personal union with France. However, the downside of this is that we now have an absolute ton of aggressive expansion, which is really bad. But don't forget, we're now the combined power of England and France for the moment, and Castile. So the chances that the coalition will fire, I mean, there's a possibility. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely a possibility here, but we've got a decent bit of backing on our side, and Austria still likes us, which is good. So while we've got a free diplomat, let's go ahead and have a look. Can we? Well, we definitely should improve some relations with here because we're only at a very low amount. So we'll improve relations with Castile. We'll keep that going. Things aren't too bad with Austria at the moment. Improved relations are actually quite good there. We're short on a couple of advisors, but we are losing money. Why are we still losing money? We weren't losing money a moment ago, and now we are losing money. We're not over our force limit, that I'm certain of. Or maybe all of a sudden we are. Army maintenance. I guess we could drop the army maintenance a little bit. We don't want to drop it too much because there is a coalition out there. But at the same time, it would be nice to start getting some manpower back and reinforcing. We need to get some money. We could repay 2 of the loans. Let's start getting some of these loans paid off. And we could probably do with a few more light ships. Let's see what our naval force limit is. Naval force limit. Oh, we're nearly there actually. We're not quite there. Got room for 5 more ships, which I probably will do. Another thing that's going to change in the 1.13 patch, which I'm not currently using, I'm still using 1.12, is they're actually going to make the base force limit for independent nations 12 instead of 6. So currently, as an independent nation, we get +6 base, and then we get the rest of our naval force limit from provinces, but we'll actually get a +12 base, so it'll instantly give us an extra 6 ships that we'll be able to use. So that's good. Technology was still ahead of time, so we will want to pick some of these techs up, but not at the cost of wasting points. We're quite a bit ahead on admin tech, actually. We could go ahead and maybe improve the base tax in a province or two, maybe a couple of times in London. All of this will actually help. Aragon's actually rivaled England. That's fine. They've entered the coalition. What are our rivals on these days? Because we were rivaling France. We've got Aragon rivaled anyway. Morocco seems a little bit weird. We've got an open slot. We've got Burgundy rivaled. That makes sense. We've got Aragon rivaled. That makes sense. And I guess it is just Castile and Morocco. I'm going to go ahead and rival Morocco. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, but I certainly don't want to rival one of my most powerful allies while there's a big coalition against me. That would just be stupid. Are we embargoing everybody? I know we're not embargoing Morocco because we've only just rivaled them. So we'll go ahead and embargo these guys as soon as our diplomat is free to send. Oh, we don't actually have a free diplomat to send. Let's just bring you back from Castile. Oh, it's getting a bit hairy. I never like it when a big coalition starts to form against you. It always makes me nervous. Come on, diplomat. We'll go up to speed 3 just as soon as I've done this. Right, you can go and do that embargo. Let's go up to speed 3. We need to wait for that diplomat to come back and we can send him back to Castile. Don't have any troops anywhere, really. We might also, at some point, need to do something with Scotland, because Scotland don't like me. Although saying that, it's mainly just because of the aggressive expansion. They do desire some of my provinces. We could suck up to Scotland quite nicely, I think. Which we probably will. France is going to start rebuilding some of their army. We'll continue to suck up to France. Do I want to suck up to Castile? Kind of need both of them. Let's go and suck up to Castile a little bit more. Now, we are over our diplomatic relationship slots. Connaught, Brittany, Austria, Castile, Portugal. Yeah. What do we want here? Minus 15% national tax modifier for 5 years. Well, we definitely don't want that. National manpower modifier minus 20% for 5 years. And national unrest plus 2. Excellent. Don't really want any of them. I'm going to go for the unrest, because if we reduce the national manpower, it will make it... Oh, we didn't pick the manpower mission, did we? We actually picked the loans one. I was going to say, if we actually picked the one that reduced our manpower cap, it would technically make it easier to get to our manpower cap, because the cap would be smaller. But on the flip side of that, we'd actually reinforce more slowly as well. And we are trying to rebuild up some of these troops. We are definitely going to have to go ahead and start getting rid of some of the mercenaries, but we don't have a lot of manpower, we don't have a lot of money. We need those to build up before we can do such a thing. What are we like in terms of our numbers? We have 33 men-at-arms and 5... Are they counting the mercenaries as well? It must be, because most of our army's mercenaries. So we've got 33 infantry and we've got 5 cavalry, which is probably a little cavalry rich, but it will do the job. So, when is the coalition going to fire? That's the question. Once I've got Castile up, I might just go and suck up to Scotland, because we can get a royal marriage with them. And we could probably get an alliance with them. The only downside is we're already over our diplomatic relations. We might have to break the royal... we might have to break the alliance with Brittany. It would still leave us with military access and a royal marriage. I can leave the military access going for the time being, I think, because it shouldn't be costing us anything. Because they're not going to accept vassalization, which means we're going to have to take them militaristically. Yeah, it's the economic base that's causing the problem. So we're not going to be able to grab them, we're not going to be able to vassalize them diplomatically. So we might have to break those relations and use them on Scotland as well, because we will get a mission for Scotland. Because it is one of our actual national missions, isn't it? We actually have this thing here, form the British nation diplomatically. So basically, all you need to have is admin tech level 10. So obviously we can't do it until we get to admin tech level 10. Not a subject nation, at peace, legitimacy of 100, and... one of the following must be true. Scotland governed by the ruler of England. Scotland is a vassal of England. So we would have to try and vassalise them first. But I think we might be able to do it. Would they accept vassalisation, actually? No, why not? Because of the economic tax base still. Well, okay, we won't worry about them too much. We can take Scotland in a fight. It's not too much of a problem. So we'll stay there. We'll leave it as it is. What have we got here? Lose 10 prestige or lose 1 stability. Well, I don't really want to lose either, but I'm going to lose the stability. And the reason for that is, there's 2 reasons there. One, we're ahead of time with admin points, and it's relatively cheap. Well, it's not relatively cheap. It is very, very expensive to boost stability, but not that I need to be at 3 stability. I just always like to be there. Independence for Tyrone. That's probably not going to fight. Yeah, 250 years. I think we're safe. I can buy stability up, but buying prestige up is far more difficult. Now we're not at war. How are we doing with things religiously? We have 50% reform desire. So we can't convert yet, but I hope I haven't missed it. I hope I haven't left things too late. Although we are... Oh, wow, actually, look at our papal influence. We're up to 105%. 105 points. I've got no interest in becoming the Curia controller, so we're just going to buy that one mercantilism. That will help our money. Another thing that's changing in the 1.13 patch as well is a lot of the stuff that you can buy from the Holy See is just going to be a 10-year modifier as opposed to a permanent modifier, which means if it's 100 papal influence for one mercantilism that only lasts 10 years, I mean, at the moment, mercantilism's great if you can buy it for 100 papal influence, especially if you're not bothered about becoming the papal controller and you can just throw those points away to get the mercantilism up. Because this is what I'm doing. I intend to try and go reformed, which means I don't care about the papacy. So I'm just saving those points and dumping them on mercantilism. So we are regaining a little bit of money, we're regaining a little bit of manpower, it's all good there. We are down a couple of advisors. I would like to get a couple of advisors, and in fact I think I'm going to get a military advisor at least. Let's go ahead and get the land maintenance modifier. Now he will pretty much pay for himself, because it's going to reduce the amount that it's costing to keep our troops going. And it will allow us to gain a few more military points, because that's where we are most behind at the moment. I would really like to get a few more ships, and in fact, while we do have loans that we need to pay off, I think we will go ahead and actually grab a couple more ships as well. So let's get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It hasn't bankrupted us. Loans coming due in 78. We've actually got a loan coming due here that we can't pay now because I've done that. So it was a little bit silly, but those boats will pay for themselves eventually. How are we doing with Castile over here now? The improved relations, allied to rival. You are rival. Oh, you're rivaled with Austria. Maybe we will be rivaling Castile at some point. That could be quite interesting. But at the moment, Aragon are rivaling us as well. And it would be nice if we had Castile to help us, and we could possibly go against Aragon later, and then we'll team up with Austria if they still like us and go for Castile. We'll see how that one's going to work out. So we're getting a decent amount of manpower now. Let's go ahead and grab the admin tech, because that will go ahead and put us back ahead of time and give us our production efficiency bonus. And we can also go ahead and grab our Diplotech, which will give us a trade efficiency bonus. So both of those things are going to help. And we can't grab a military tech yet. Now we could go ahead and grab our second idea group here. We've already got a military idea. What would we take next? Trade ideas would be particularly good as England. Trade is very, very good for England. There again, we'd like to do a bit of colonisation, but maybe what I'll do is consider doing expansion ideas and not exploration ideas. Although getting Quest for the New World could be good. It would give us colonists, and we could go out there and do something overseas. But I did the whole colonisation thing quite heavily in the last campaign. Although it does give us access to some of the new El Dorado stuff. Because when I did my French campaign, I didn't actually have the El Dorado DLC, so I couldn't do the 7 cities and the exploration missions and stuff like that. This would give us the option to do that. But I think we need to sort our economy out. I would absolutely love to go exploration, but I think we'll be going trade and then possibly expansion or exploration, depending on how things go. Because there's no point grabbing a colonist right now anyway, because I haven't got anywhere to colonise. But being able to get a 10% global trade power is absolutely fantastic. And you get some extra merchants for this. Yeah, we're going to go trade ideas. That's what we're going to do. Going to go trade ideas. And we can almost afford our first trade idea as well. So this will help us get our money back as England. So we've got all of our forts mothballed. We're sucking up to France so that they hopefully have a relatively low liberty desire. It's currently down to 15%, which is actually really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disable the supporting of loyalists. Now that will put their liberty desire back up to 35%. It will go back down, providing I keep my army numbers up. As they start to increase their forces, then it will go a little bit the other way. But this will save us a little bit of money as well. So we need to get some troops up. When is our next loan due? August of 79. So it would be nice if we could get some of these loans paid. How much money are we making? 9.12 per month. That's not bad. It's not good either, but it's not bad. So let's go ahead and grab the extra 10% trade efficiency. So that is going to help. And we've also, of course, now got the yearly naval tradition and extra heavy ship combat ability, which is really, really good. I don't feel quite so bad now about spending some of the Navy tradition to try and get this Parliament Act to pass either. And that'll give us another +2 mercantilism if that goes through. So that is likely to be really good. Would like to actually get the admin advisor now. What's our focus on? We're actually not focused on anything at the moment. We are losing a little bit of Diplo because we are over our limit of relationships, but that's fine. I think we can handle that. So we should have these Yeah, it won't be too long before we get these ships. I'd like to get buildings built. There's so much stuff that I actually want to get done now, but grabbing France in a personal union was just far too big an opportunity to pass up, because it's always been so difficult to do previously. So we can actually go ahead and grab a military idea now. As nice as it would be to get reduced regiment costs... Well, actually, let's have a look at our tech. If we get the next tech, we can actually grab artillery. And that would put us up to military tech 7. What are our neighbours at? Yeah, Burgundy's at 7, Savoy's at 6, Austria's at 6. It probably makes sense to save up and get the next one, although cheaper regiment cost would be really, really good. I mean, most of the monies we're losing is because we've got so many mercenaries. So I think we'll ignore the tech for now. We'll get it cheaper at some point. Let's go ahead and get the reduced regiments costs, because now we can buy troops more cheaply. So we won't have any cannons just yet, but we can go ahead and let's start by getting ourselves a couple of infantry, and we'll grab them over on the mainland, and then we can disband a couple of mercenaries, and then that should balance itself out quite nicely. So that'll work. So let's find ourselves a couple of mercenaries. Are you the... No, I was going to say, are you the only 2 mercenaries in that? Of course you're not. There's loads of you. So we'll go ahead, we'll select this unit, and we will disband them. I know we haven't got the 2 new guys yet, but we will have soon. You guys have got no real way of getting over here. I guess you can stay there. You might be able to deal with something. Britain's opinion of England is changed by +30. That's nice, but I bet you still won't accept vassalization, will you? No, -41. Still that economic tax-based thing going on. Yeah, not sure we're going to be able to necessarily do anything about that. Let's get all you guys together in London. Let's go ahead and let's get a loan paid off. Let's start paying them off when we can. We need to complete that mission. We're already making an extra couple of ducats a month than we were before. We still have 8 loans. We're still 1,500 in debt. What have we got going on here? Oh, let's pause. The disputed succession of Richard has caused a pretender to raise an army and march for the capital. 6 pretender regiments raise up in marches. Well, that's not good. Did our king die? Our king did die, and we've actually got a regency now, so we can't declare war on anybody. So, things that we need to do here. Royal marriage with Austria, yes. Let's go in and put our army maintenance up. Let's go and grab some troops. They're marching for the capital. You guys need to group up and move down here. You guys need to have a... oh yeah, it's weird how that overlaps part of the window and not all of it. You guys need to have a leader. And you are going to attach to the boats, and the transports are going to go ahead and dock over here. So let's get everybody moved across. Let's also get these lights. I'm just going to move them all up to Norfolk for the moment. There we go. So there's a stack of 12. We'll wait until the end of the month before we fire off this event. They are mostly mercenaries. So we'll just wait till the end of the month so that we get our morale tick. And we will pop that. I don't know, it says they were going to march for the capital, but they're not actually coming directly here. So we should just go and jump on top of them. It is in woods. They only have a 1-0 leader. Saying that ours is just a 0-1, but shock is better than fire. Saying that, they're absolutely crushing us because they have a massive morale advantage. We're just going to retreat from that here. Wow. Obviously, it doesn't really matter because war score isn't a thing when you're just fighting against rebels and such. But I'm going to take some more troops across there. You know, I'd prefer not to lose a lot of manpower to trying to defeat a rebel stack. Not too sure what effect that's actually going to have here. Not too much and not for too long. Right, group up you guys. Get back in there. Let's just consolidate. It'll save us some money. We will need to keep our eye on France if we're doing consolidations, just to make sure that the relative power stays in our favour. Yeah, that massive boost that they have to morale really, really helps them, but this should kill them off and we should be able to siege them out here. Wow, they actually didn't die. You're going here, are you? So we'll finish them off and then we'll go and win this siege here. Royal marriage with Castile has ended. Okay, let's go and siege that out. Now the question is, do I want to get a royal marriage back with Castile at this point? I guess we do. Keep them happy for now, especially while we're in this thing. Right, France are pretty much not topped out yet. Let's go and suck up to Scotland. You never know, it might help in the future. They'll accept an alliance. Not too bothered about that at the moment. I'd just like you to be friendly. I don't necessarily want a relationship with them. Let's go ahead and get these guys to form up and make one army. Okay, so that was a little bit hairy. Don't like those events. Right, you guys, you're going to group up and you're going to protect trade in... Where are we protecting trade for? Probably just in the English Channel. What is our trade power in the English Channel these days? 72%. That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. What are we making? 8.18. But there again, we do have our army maintenance up almost full. Military coalition is still growing. We have lost a few more units. The Iberian wedding. Oh, well, at least that means we'll lose Aragon as a rival. But then we'll have to probably... Yeah, it's also going to make Castile stronger. So I suppose at this point, keeping them as a friend would be a good idea, really. Let's just go ahead and reduce the army maintenance again a little bit. We are still reinforcing. But it will help in the long run. Let's go ahead and group you guys together. And we will try and keep... Yeah, Aragon is no longer a valid rival for us. Now we have a costly trade embargo because we are embargoing Aragon. So let's go ahead and bring our diplomat back from Scotland. I know he's not been there too long, but let us go and revoke the embargo on Aragon. So who do we have now as rival options? Just Castile. Well, I'm not going to take that for the time being because I'm not in a very good position to fight them if they come after me. So we'd rather wait on that for the time being. Let's go ahead and... what were we doing here? Improving relations. See, we could get this royal marriage with Scotland, but there's probably not a lot of point in doing so. We'll get these... As soon as this is sieged out... I don't know why it's taking so long, because it is a fort. There's only 310 men in here. We could assault it, but again, doing that seems a little bit silly. What's unrest unlike? Pretender rebels, we're going to deal with them very, very soon. This thing's not going to pop for still another 104 years, so we're not too bothered about that. Truce timer is with Venice, Savoy in France. That's fine. Again, not something that we have to worry about at all, really. It's mainly just these loans. September 81, 199 ducats. I'm not sure we're going to be able to afford that. It'd be good if we could. Our trade fleets have all found each other and merged up nicely, which is also good for us. France, what's your liberty desire at the moment? We don't want you splitting off. Still 32%. That's good. We could get them to embargo our rivals. It will give them some more liberty desire. Might give us a little bit more trade power in the area, but I don't necessarily think we need it. Connor, what are we doing with you guys? Can we possibly... you're our ally, I believe. Or are you our vassal? You are our vassal. Can we integrate you? Annex vassal. No diplomats. 190. We could do that. Let's stop sucking up to Scotland. Let's try and get these guys annexed, because if we can do that, at least then we'll have... Right, let's go ahead and get a royal marriage, because that's like an instant mega boost. And then we will go through the old... where are we? Always lose it. Improve relations. There we go. So we'll improve relations, get up to 190, and then we'll try and annex them. And then we'll be below our relationship limit. But that's probably a good point to end. Well, it would have been if we didn't have to sort this out. What have we got here? National Trade Income Modifier plus 5%. Thank you very much. But that's probably a really good point to end the video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying EU4 is England. And I will see you on the next video. So, until then, goodbye for now.